You think you're funny, do you?
I said to myself, I said, do my ragamuffins, hold up a sec. Gotta hydrate. So I was wondering, do my ragamuffins know how to tackle multi-step problems? Can they analyze the situation and figure out what they're actually supposed to do? Do they know how to use the distributive property, where if multiplying by a larger number, you can break that larger number into smaller parts, tackle the smaller parts individually, get the sum of the partial products, and then go from there? Well, today what we're going to do is analyze a situation where Casey has her eyes set on the most incredible pogo stick of all. She's got a lot of energy to burn, you know that kind of person, and she wants to save up for it because her parents go, look, you get big toys and then you just put them aside. So save up for it, do some chores. Let's take a look at how she handled the situation. So Casey recorded the number of times that she did her chores on her job list. Her parents agreed to pay her for each of the separate chores. The question is, it's a $50 pogo stick. How much more money does she need to buy the pogo stick than the jobs she's already done? And then, if she did at least 3 more chores, including load the dishwasher, which is not one of her favorite chores, what tasks could she complete in order to hit her goal and buy herself that pogo stick? So the chore list that we're working with allows her to empty and load the dishwasher, $1 for emptying, $1.50 for loading, walking the dog for $2, folding the laundry, and taking out the trash. She does the dishwasher emptying 5 times, loading 7, walking the dog 5, folding 9, and then taking out the trash 6 times. The question is, how much more money does she need? So let's take a look at how much money she's already made. 5 times $1 for emptying the dishwasher is going to give her $5. However, 7 times $1.50, well, I'm going to break that into 2 parts, 7 times $1 and 7 times 50 cents. 7 times $1 is going to give me $7, no big deal. Multiplying 7 times 5 is 35. Multiplying 7 times 50 is $3.50, giving me a total of $10.50 for loading the dishwasher. That's a lot of work. Now, taking out the dog is $2 each time. 5 times $2 is $10. 9 times $1.50, I'm going to do the same break apart. This is where the distributive property is powerful. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 50 is $4.50, since 9 times 5 is 45, giving me a sum of $13.50 for folding laundry. It's a boring job. I'm glad she made a lot of money. Taking out the trash 6 times gave her 6 times $1, a straight $6. So if I actually find the sum of each of those jobs, that's going to tell me how much money she's already made. That's the first step in finding out how much more money she's going to need. When I line up my decimal place and I have all my place values in line, I find the sum of all those jobs with the appropriate regrouping is $45. Now, the pogo stick is $50. I now need to find the difference of those 2 numbers in order to figure out how much more money she needs. $50 minus 45 gives me $5 more. So Casey's going to have to do not much work in order to get that extra $5. Her dad said she needs to do 3 more chores, including loading the dishwasher. Let's go ahead and check off loading the dishwasher, and then we're going to have to find out some other chores, at least 3 of them, to make the $5. When I look at loading the dishwasher for $1.50, I realize it ends in 50 cents and I need $5. I'm going to try and find another job that also ends in 50 cents and do that one. If I fold the laundry for $1.50, now if I get the sum of those two, that tells me I will have earned $3 doing those two jobs. I need a total of $5. Walking the dog is $2. Boom, I can just do that one. Let's line up my decimal point and all my places. When I add that extra $2, I have $5. Mission accomplished. Now I can actually, after doing those chores, get my pogo stick. So now I want you to hit pause and check out this problem. A spring booster for $16, 3 chores or more. We're going to use the same job list with the same dollar amounts as payments, and you have to find out what the arrangement would be. So I hope you paused. I hope you got the correct answer. Let's work this out. We know from before that when we loaded the dishwasher, took the dog for a walk, and also did the laundry, that the sum of those 3 tasks turned out to be $5. So I need $16 for the spring booster. So if I know it's 5, why don't I just do those tasks 3 times each? If I multiply 5 times 3, that's going to give me $15, which is pretty close to the $16 that I need. Well, I'm going to just find one other chore that's going to give me $1 by emptying the dishwasher. Not too bad. If I add that $1 from emptying the dishwasher to the $15 that I already have, that's going to get me the $16. Boom. I got my spring booster. I can launch even further. I've got my $16. Mission accomplished. All right. So here's what I need you to actually remember. That when you have complicated situations, it makes sense to analyze them, break it down, do each part separately, and then when you synthesize or put it all back together again, you're going to have the answer that you need. When you were younger, people considered younger students strong math students if they were just good with numbers. You can just add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Not even multiply and divide, just adding and subtracting quickly. Well, now what you have to do is use some analysis. You have to break things apart, put them all back together. That's the synthesis. And the distributive property helps you do exactly that with larger numbers. So I hope you take your time, hope you're thoughtful, and I hope this video helps. All right, bye.
5 and a horse, I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats to turn to a ghost. I need to know everything. I need to know everything. Who and the what and the where. I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche. 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war. I'm coming for throats to turn to a ghost. I need to know everything.